everybody, and welcome back to All the Mods 9. How's your day been? Good? Let me know down in the comments below. So last episode, what we did was set up passive crafting in Mekanism. We got ourselves our metallurgical fusers, making our enriched alloys, reinforced, atomic, all the different type of circuits, and all the enriched extra stuff. You might notice the room is a little bit different. I have now added this room in the back right here. This is where we're going to be setting up the Wither now next episode when we get into Industrial 4 going. We're setting up ether gas extraction. And each one of these cherry logs represents a dissolution chamber, which we are going to set up. I think we're going to passive craft everything that needed for it, for like all the different speed add-ons, all the machine frames. More or less all of that's going to be passively crafted. I've added two new machines right here. We got another metallurgical fuser, and he's actually like turning iron into enriched iron, which is needed for the structure. Is it the reactor glass from Mekanism? And this guy here is just making us some refined obsidian. We need a tiny bit for these chemical dissolution chambers. Now, a few things about the reactors now today is there's a few resources that I do not have. Well, I'd have to set up to get now, so hopefully we have enough. But fluorite. Apparently, we cannot find the original, like, Mekanism fluorite in the world. It's all Gregstar fluorite. If I look up fluorite here, you might notice I only have 3 fluorite because I turned all the ones I had into the fluorite here. You can actually convert this into the block version and then turn it back into this fluorite from Gregstar. So what we need to do with this is use that in a chemical dissolution chamber with sulfuric acid to make the hydrofluoric acid, mixed with uranium oxide to make uranium hexafluoride, and then put down an isotopic centrifuge to make ourselves our fissile fuel, which is how we're going to power the reactor. And we're not going to go crazy with the reactor today. I'm just going to be setting up something very basic and getting ourselves just antimatter being made, and hopefully a lot of extra power. So I've prepared an area. I was really trying to figure out where I was going to do it, because I think I said I wanted to do it in the void dimension, but then I ended up setting up bees in my farm in here. So we're still going to actually do it here, but I have moved like a couple 100 blocks north to this platform here. This is where we're going to be setting up the reactor, and I have a waypoint to that too. I added 2 new seeds, so you might know I already got myself the fluorite. Why are we struggling on water? Is water really that big of an issue? No, some of them seem to have water. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes the water doesn't seem to be enough in here. It's filling up now. I don't know. It's fine. But yeah, so I set up the extra dirt one, and I made myself a load more, like only about 4 more unobtainium and like all the modium vibranium seeds, just so there's always a seed in the phytogenic insulator crafting us what we need. So if we come over here to the Mekanism reactor, I think that's at 500 blocks. Yeah, nearly 600 blocks away. That should be more than far enough away in case there's a catastrophic failure. So what I'm planning is, this thing is 3 chunks wide. We're going to put ourselves a reactor right here. I think we're going to make it like 15 by 15 by 17 or something like that, or 15 by 15 by 15. Right here, we're going to be setting up our turbine. That's going to be something like 9 by 9 by 15 or something like that. I don't know how to calculate what size we need. And then over here, we're going to have our SPS chamber and polonium and plutonium pellets being crafted. And at the back here, this is where we're going to be making our fuel. Now, in terms of actually getting access to the AE system over here, I think we're going to have to set up a new quantum tunnel. Oh, wait, no, we don't. We just have to put up a wireless link. I think they go infinite direction in the dimension, but they just can't go cross dimension. So we'll set up one of those. So let's start by getting ourselves the layout of the reactor first. So fission reactor, I think I've made the patterns for them. So let's craft ourselves like 2,000 of those. Probably like 2,000 of these. Oh, I haven't made a pattern for that. We'll just start off with this. So let's say we want the closest side to the frontier. So that's 15, and now we need to go 15. So it's essentially just all the way down to the edge of the chunk right here, I think, right? No, I think it's here. So it should be 30 in total. No? Am I thinking of this right? Yeah, I am thinking of it right. Okay. All right, so this is going to be more or less the size of it. And we said we were going to go, what, like 15 tall or 16 tall? And we'll just break that and we'll just build up quite a bit. This is 14, 15, 16, 17. I think the max size we can go is 18. So let's go to a full 18 size. I think we're actually going to put glass in the front there. All right, so that's more or less the entire frame of the thing built. So what we need to do now is fill it up with the actual fuel rods. And I think I was missing a pattern in there, so hang on. Oh yeah, the basic chemical tank pattern. So like I said, we're going to have a checkerboard pattern in here. And so essentially just every second block will be a fuel rod. There we go. And we just need to raise this to 1 block before the top. There we go. And I've just made myself the controller tops. And I just need to put those on top of all these guys here. Cool. And that's pretty much the entire reactor more or less made. I just need the reactor glass. And now just cover in the front. Is this going to have a connected texture or is this going to be broken? It looks like it's broken. And it should have built, right? Or does it need the ports on it first? I don't know why it's not building. Let's make ourselves the fission reactor ports and we'll see if that works then. So give me like 10 of them. So we said in the back middle here, we're going to be inputting into fuel. Give me out my control rod thing. We want to shift right click to input only. Is this telling me what's going on? Why isn't this thing actually building? This should have constructed unless I missed something. Oh, I didn't have enough glass. Hang on. There's the red particles. Now we've built it. Cool. So what we need to do now is over here, we're going to have an input or an export out for steam. Actually, I think that needs to go up a lot higher. And then just over here, we're going to put ourselves our 2 ports for the waste. Or there's only 1 port for waste. Yeah, there's only 1 port for waste. So output the waste. Now, we are going to have to like destroy all the other waste barrels, but we'll just probably stack up like 100 of barrels right here. I'm also interested to see how does the reactive ME drive work? Because we do have this like mega radioactive storage component. Holds 256 bytes, but I don't know like what does this one actually hold. I'm guessing radioactive chemical. I'm sure it holds anything here that has any type of radioactivity. So I don't know, probably not going to use it anyway, but let me know in the comments below what these actually do. And oh yeah, the last thing we need to do is input in the actual coolant for the whole reactor. And we're just going to do that here. We're going to have 4 ports on the top. Probably a bit overkill. We're just going to be using water to supply this guy. And I'm thinking of actually using integrated dynamics. So if we go to add integrated, and we might need to do a little bit of this, but I'm thinking if we can get ourselves the fluid interface, oh, we might actually have enough here. If I can make a tiny bit of this cable as well. Oh, can we make some of this here somehow? Mechanical squeezer. Hang on. We might be able to do this. No. All right, I'm going to have to go find some mineral logs and chop them down. All right, so now I found enough and I've made my cable. So what we need here is an exporter, and the export says it exports fluids from the network. So I'm assuming that means it'll just go straight from this guy, or do I have to put it on here? Because this looks like it's pointing up into this thing. I think I have this backwards. Actually, you know what? I think it is this one I'm supposed to be using. Okay, so we'll reconnect these 4 up here with the cable. It's been a while since I used it. So variable card in here, go to the fluid transfer rate, max this out with as many 9s as you can. Okay. And I think it should automatically be on. It's full of water, so that seems to have worked. And now once we get our fuel, we'll be able to pretty much pump in as much as we want. Because this guy here should keep up with like nearly an infinite water transfer rate. So hopefully we're not going to run into any issues. All right, so we're just going to set this guy here to a broadcast, and we're just going to use the same amount of P2P tunnels as here. Wait, what's going on? Why isn't this working? Mechanism reactors, a broadcast. Network not powered? Why does it not like having the wireless transceiver? Is there too much power? Hang on, let's plug this back on here. Set this to a broadcasting. Broadcast done. I have a feeling our we're just not getting enough power down here. Maybe the further away the thing is, the more power it uses. Bypass limit. Power surge. Hang on. It's not a power output delivery issue. We have over 133 billion FE in the matrix, so I guess it just does not like this. Okay, we're going to have to set up something different. Maybe there is a maximum block range it uses. I guess we're setting up a new quantum tunnel over there. Okay, so just put the quantum tangle porter singularity thing in here, and it should be online. Copied myself a new P2P tunnel, so just P2P. There's some cable here, and that should be it. So just stick that there, and we're ready to go. So to make the fuel for the actual reactor, we're going to need these machines right here. Isotopic centrifuges. These are going to pump directly into this guy. I'm going to set those up right there. Now, into the back of them, we're going to need a chemical infuser. On the left of it here, we're going to need a chemical dissolution chamber, another chemical infuser, another chemical infuser here, chemical oxidizer here, Another one there. This one's going to be for uranium. This one here's for sulfur. And then we have ourselves a rotary condensator and electrolytic separator. So the way these things are going to work, we need ourselves some tubes. And we're also going to need cable to hook everything here up to power. And we'll use power for that. So what we're going to have is everything here is going to connect into this guy here. Okay. Oh, maybe I should move this back a block. Yeah, that's more like it. So pretty much everything here just gets connected to itself. And that's more or less it. So everything comes in, and then out and connects in here. So we'll just start setting up the configuration. So we want it to input the right, input the back, output out the front. This guy here is going to export out the left, input the right, and import the back. This guy here, we just need to dump the excess hydrogen. Or should it be wise to store this hydrogen? I don't know if this hydrogen works the same way as the hydrogen from Gregstar. So maybe there is no point in storing it. We'll just dump the excess for now. If we need it, well, I can set up a cell for it and store it. For the condensator, these two here need water, so I guess I'll just use an export and export water out from the system. So water, acceleration upgrade. You, the same, so water, acceleration upgrade. You are going to have sulfur dust. You are going to be uranium. Oh, actually, no. We need another thing. We need an enrichment chamber right here, I think. Because what we need is uranium cake. Yellow cake uranium, which is an enrichment chamber of uranium. So, enrichment chamber. Give me out one of those. Put you right there with an exporter on top. And you're just going to be uranium. And I think that's it then. You are just going to be sulfur. I think the sulfur from Gregstar is the one we need to use. Yeah, we have 300k of it here. We also have 3.8 million of this sulfur. But I don't think we can use this one unless we macerate it. Or pulverize it. So we might need to set up a massive pulverizing chain for getting a lot of this stuff. Probably no harm to do that anyway. So we'll probably set that up over in that area there. But I think that's more or less it. I don't think we actually need the thick, dense cable. So let's just grab out the thinner cable and hook everything here up. All right, so we're now making ourselves our hydrogen. The oxygen is going into this cable here. This guy here ran out of power. That's fine. We'll fill all the power up now in a moment. The back is supposed to be an input. Oh, that's input of items. The gases are input, output, input. Yeah, like that. So there we go. You got the oxygen in here. You are just going to be gases, output this way, right? Outputs. There we go. You are fully connected up. This guy, gases, input the back, output out the front, input the right. Yep. Oh, this guy here also needs an export bus for fluorite. Is the fluorite going to go in? Yep, there it is. And we have our uranium in here. Cool. We just need to hook everything here up to power. Okay, so once I connect this thing here to the network, so mains power, everything here is online. Now we just need to put back all the stone. There we go. And now we just need to give everything here energy and acceleration card upgrades. Oh yeah, I also need to pump the items across for you. We'll just use a regular logistical pipe. All right, so the yellow cake's going in. That should mix in here with uranium oxide. And we should be slowly making sulfuric acid, right? Oh yeah, we need to turn this guy around. And now he's turning the water into water vapor. And that should be making our sulfuric acid. Why isn't it exporting out? Oh, did I forget to change the... Oh, yeah. And there we go. Sulfuric acid going in. And we should be making ourselves our fissile fuel. Amazing. So we'll just connect up the actual pressurized tubes right here. And connect it in. And there we go. Fissile fuel in the reactor. So yeah, let me just quickly upgrade everything here to the max. Alright, so the reactor is now full of fuel, but before we actually turn this thing on, we want to get ourselves our turbine set up. So the size of this turbine is going to be 9 by 9 by 17. So turbine, grab out all of the casings, and we just want to find the center of this, which is this block here. So we want to go one here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And that will appear to be pretty much our entire frame. Alright, so that's the bottom. So we want to go up 17 now. So this is 2, 3, 17. And I think this is one block lower than the whole reactor. So with that then, we just need to do that the whole way around. And I think on the inside here, it's only going to be 8 blocks. And then the rest is all going to be like the vents and saturating condensers. So if we count up 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think here is then where the actual layer of the block cuts off from the structural glass. All right, so with this whole frame right now, we want to grab out our turbine vents, and this will be a good indication of where we need to hook up the actual coolant output for the reactor. So we're going to have one valve right here, which is going to be the input of steam, and we're going to have another one over here. We're actually going to drop it down a level, and this is going to be the output of power. And actually, I think we can drop this one down a level as well. So you'll go there, and we'll connect you to there, and this will be the output of coolant. So just grab out my configurator, output coolant, and I don't know what's going to be the best pipe. We'll probably end up using, what's this one called again? Integrated dynamics to move the fluids across, but we'll see. So we need a rotational complex, which is how the reactors or the actual turbine is going to work. We use some turbine rotors, and these just need to go all the way up to here. Yeah, there we go. And I think then we need pressure dispersers, and they need to cover this whole level right here. Now we need electromagnetic coils for the size of reactor and the amount of rods that we have down here for the actual turbine rotors. We need 4 of these guys, and they all need to be connected and touching the rotational speed controller or the rotational speed complex. So with that then, I think the rest is just structural glass and vents. Don't forget to actually put the turbine blades on the turbine rotor. And saturating condensers fill up the inside. And then the rest is just the turbine vents. That's the whole reactor made. So if we just grab out a plug, connect this to here so the power goes out. And I think, since we're not going to be sending the water back into this thing, I think as long as no connector is connected, I think we'll just dump the excess. Water will not be recycled. Yeah, so if it's not dumping excess steam, there'll be no excess water being put back in, which is good. Because we don't want that, because we have infinite water pumping in here from this sink. And I think it's actually a tube we're going to need. So we might actually need multiple of these coolant export ports. So hang on, let me make a load of them. Right, hopefully I've set everything up here correctly. So let's actually turn this whole reactor on and see what happens. So we have a burn rate of 0.1. We can go all the way up to 1260. So let's start off with a simple burn rate of like 10. Everything seems stable. Some steam has been put in through, and we are currently generating about 400,000. Let's bypass the limit. And everything here is definitely stable. Now, the thing is, we are building up nuclear waste because we haven't set up a place for that to go, but we'll figure that out now in a moment. So let's jump up to like 50 and see how we go. As long as the water input is still okay. Water is holding. And now we are currently generating 2 million FE. Okay, I think we can push this thing all the way to like 150. Just get ready to scram. Is it holding? As long as there's no coolant in here, we should be okay. This guy here is half full of steam and is currently generating 6 million FE. And we're holding. How is our fuel production? I had to do a bit of an upgrade over here by getting more chemical oxidizers for sulfur dioxide and uranium hexafluoride or whatever. But looking at it, we are still making more fuel than we're burning, so that's good. Okay, so we could easily run this thing at like maybe 200, maybe even 300 millibuckets a tick. So that's actually amazing. Yeah, because power was one thing where we're starting to run out of, because this setup over here, now that I've added all these new chemical oxidizers, we're yearly using 1 million FE at a tick. So that wasn't great, and we only had like a couple billion in the matrix. But with this reactor and turbine, we shouldn't have any issue. So let's actually start making ourselves our polonium, and then we can start generating up everything we need to make the SPS machine. Right, so to make ourselves the polonium and plutonium, we are going to need the solar neutron activator. So the solar neutron activator requires HDPE. Now HDPE is made with liquid ethylene and oxygen. So I'm going to have to rob some oxygen from our setup over there and make ourselves some ethylene, which is hydrogen and biofuel. You know what? I might as well just make myself a separate setup right here. Right, so the way we're going to need to set this up, let me actually look up HDPE again. What we need to get ourselves is substrate, and substrate comes from water and hydrogen in a biofuel. So biofuel is gotten by crushing down mostly any more organic material. It seems like baked potatoes is one of the best options. Yeah, we don't have that many options, but we're only making ourselves a tiny bit, unless HDPE is used for a lot more stuff. Oh, it's needed for the SPS casing. Okay, so it might be a good idea to set up this on a little bit of a passive craft. So, using all the nature essence we have, we can just craft like 100 stacks of like potatoes and not have to really worry about it then. And then we can just export those out in here. And that should be more or less it then. So, second pressurized reaction chamber. And this stuff, the substrate, needs to come out the front. So, change this actually to here. Input the back, and then we'll just export out the right. Actually, no, we can't export out the right. We're going to have to export out the top, because on the right, this is where we're going to have the input of gases. And we're to have another export out the left. So right now, we have tons of oxygen, and we need to start pumping that out. So ultimate tube, come in here, gases, change this to oxygen, pump that into here. And do you also need water? Because if so, I'll have to take another exporter on you. Oh, it's not water, it's liquid ethylene. And how are we getting the ethylene again? Ah, yeah, from you. Okay, so it's not the water input. We want the ethylene from this coming out and into here. Oh, but it also needs to be a liquid, so we also need a rotary condensator. All right, and how are we looking now? Yes, HDPE. So everything here just needs a speed upgrade. And all right, there we go. HDPE, so we can say items out the top and into an import bus. Is that going into the system? Yes, it does. Cool. So now we just can leave that run, and now we should have plenty of HDPE to make ourselves our SPS. Right. Let's go and set up our waste production. Okay, so I think I want the SPS chamber actually here instead of over in this chunk. So that means what we can do is I'm going to say one nutrient activator is going to go here. We can configure this thing. Yes, we can. So input the back, output out the front. Oh, that's items. We want to say input the back, output at the front. And that should go over and power or provide this thing here with polonium to make antimatter. And we can then just run our nuclear waste over this way. So that's just going to be connected to here. And we'll just run this over to there. We don't want to connect it just yet in case we want to move anything. Because if we fill these pipes here with the nuclear waste and we break them, we're going to irradiate the entire area. So I think from here then, we want to come out this way, here and here. We want to have an isotopic centrifuge and another neutron activator. And they're going to pump their items out into two different pressurized reaction chambers. Okay. And then we're going to actually provide these here with water. So we're going to have to pump water up into them like this. This should work, right? Yeah, okay. So in the back here, I think oh yeah, don't these also require like fluorite to work? Yeah, we need fluorite dust, which comes from crushing refined fluorite, or can we just throw fluorite in a crusher? Okay, we can just throw fluorite in a crusher. So we'll just hook that up over here and then just pipe it over. So we'll input items in the top and output out the front, and we'll just connect it to like an ender chest or something here. It doesn't have to be anything important. And then from underneath, we're going to have the export of the waste. So on the top or the back here is going to be input, and the bottom is going to be output. Oh, I'm in the energy tab. Oops. Oh yeah, energy. That's another thing we'll have to figure out. Oh, where are we going to do that? The only option we have is the left and right side of each machine. All right, we'll just say gas is in the back, output out the bottom, and we'll just run the power cable up the side of it here and here. That'll be fine. Oh yeah, the solar neutron activator doesn't need power. I forgot about that. Okay, so they should all have power, right? Yes, they do. They will need upgrades. We'll stick this crusher right here. You're going to input the right and export out the top. Okay, and then these are going to export out into the center here into an ender chest. And then underneath then, that's where we're going to pump the spent nuclear waste out of. So the waste barrels, we'll just stick over here. We'll do like a small little section of them like this. All right, so all the waste will go into these barrels, and I think these barrels delete 1 millibucket every second. So hopefully there's enough there. If not, we'll add more. And everything here should be ready. I just need to add the fluoride onto this thing. So exporter. So the fluoride heads out. Oh yeah, I need to upgrade this guy too. All right, all the fluoride's going in and into there. That's good. This guy, yeah, we'll let him fill up with the polonium. Because then once this guy's full, it'll all go over here. Or it should evenly divide it between everything. Okay, so if we just grab out some more tubes here. Turn off chunk borders. Everything here should be set up correctly. I don't think I actually configured this guy here. So no items, gases, input the back, output the front. You input the back, output out the front. Right, let's hook it up and see what happens. So we're making plutonium. Oh, the spent nuclear waste. That should be automatically exporting. I guess I need to manually do it? Or did I not set the configuration correctly? Gases. Oh, okay. Disconnect everything. And we want them in the back, output at the bottom. And the waste went out. And it is evenly divided between every barrel. And you can see the number is going down 1 millibucket every second. Perfect. So we should be able to turn back on the reactor now. Now, the only thing is the isotopic centrifuge is the only one that's going to be working throughout the day. Or the night, because the solar neutron activator requires the sun, which is coming up right now. But it'll still only work half the time, which isn't exactly what we want, but you don't really have much of a choice. And yeah, everything here is working. Right, let's fine tune the actual burn rate of this thing. We are at 150. Let's go to 250 and see if that can handle it. The water instantly filled back up. No heated coolant. Ooh. This guy here is actually really full. We're producing 11 million though. That's amazing. Okay, so it seems at 500 burn rate, it's just not got enough place to export out all the steam. So we're either going to have to void some of the overflow steam, or we're going to have to set up a second turbine. And I don't mind setting up a second turbine. I mean, if this thing max produces how much again? 15 million? If we can get 30 million out of this, that would be insane. All right, so it turns out a burn rate of over 650 is too much, because I think once the temperature exceeds 1,000 degrees, as you can see, some of the damage built up, which is not good. So I think the max burn rate we can go with is about half a bucket. So we'll run at 500, which runs it at about 842 degrees Celsius. And we have no damage going up, no heated coolant being built up, and no waste being built up. And each of these turbines here are producing 11 million each. So if everything here is stable, then we're producing tons of power and tons of waste, which should be making ourselves our polonium. So I guess we'll just wait until we built up enough polonium and plutonium to make our SPS casings. All right, we should have enough SPS casing and everything. I think we can use the structural glass to fill in the excess spaces. And we just need the supercharged coils, which are made fairly easily. They do require a bit of polonium, but we've made enough. So since we're going to be doing it right here, we want to, I guess, fill in the whole bottom with it. So I'm trying to remember the exact shape of it right now. I think there one goes here, and then it's 3, 1, 3, 1, like this. Yes, this is correct. And then right here, we want to fill up with the structural glass. I believe it's just a 3 by 3. Yeah, and I didn't think you... Oh, wait, no, I think you have to put a little bit more extra glass like this on it. Yeah, that's it. All right, so then that will go there, and then this will go up to here. 1, and then 1, 2, 3. Cool, we just need to do that for the rest of the other sides. All right, there we go. So that's more or less the entire frame made. So we want to have one input over here. So this will be input of polonium. Over here, then we want, I guess we'll put it right here. This will be the export. Do I have to use a configurator to change that? This is output. Now we'll go into a chemical crystallizer. And I think we're just going to have like 5 ports of the lasers. I don't think we need to have anything crazy. Actually, let's leave this side here open so we can just view it. So that goes here, 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 and here. That's 4 of those. That should be enough. All right, so the thing constructed. We just need to provide each of those ports now with power. And I don't think the power cable from power will be enough. So I think we might need to use the cable from mechanism. All right, we'll just stick a point on top. And I don't think we have to worry about power usage. 81 million? Wow, that is a high export. And yeah, all we have to do now is just connect this solar neutron activator to that. And there it goes. And it's done. We made 10 antimatter. Yay. So since this cable here is actually empty, I'm going to disconnect it from here. That way these guys here will no longer get any polonium or plutonium. Do we actually need those pellets for anything later? Not that I can really see a use for them later on. It might be needed for the gravitational unit, which I think might be needed for the star, but from what I can see, I don't think we need it for the ATM Star. So, yeah, that'll do. It is currently nighttime, so let's just turn on the reactor, and we'll get some of this waste built up, and when it turns daytime, it'll convert it all into antimatter. And yeah, let's get our first one. So we need a crystallizer. So chemical crystallizer, go here. Items will just export out the front into an ender chest, and gases will be input any direction. So pressurized tube right here. Antimatter should go in, and once it's reached 1,000 millibuckets, that's enough for one antimatter pellet, and it'll automatically go into the system. And how many do we need to actually make ourselves our 20 ATM stars? Oh, I guess I never set up the pattern for it. But it's needed for the actual like dragon soul, or is it the pulsating black hole? It's one of these things here. Oh yes, the improbability device. So not that I can really see antimatter usage for anywhere else. I think we just need to get ourselves 40 pellets, and that should be enough to get ourselves 20 ATM stars. All right, we're just about to have our first antimatter. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I need to give this thing speed upgrades as well. Not that it really needs it. But there we go. First antimatter pellet has been made. Yes. The impossible material. So I was actually looking through the quest again to see what we need for the ATM star in terms of antimatter. And it turns out for the actual Nexium emitter, we do need the gravitational modulating unit, which is 3 antimatter each. So to make ourselves the 20 ATM stars, we're going to need 100 antimatter pellets. So that's going to be quite a lot. Now, I don't know if we're going to have that by next episode, since this thing is still very slow. But next episode, we're going to be working on Industrial 4 going. So I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget the like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell while you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.